He's not, Proj is not able to take the session, so we'll do Prabhupada Purport reading session today. So we're discussing on this topic of how performing duty will uh, help us to purify the mind. That is the topic of discussion because we saw that Jadabharat is not doing any of his duties. I'll share the screen with you. So we were having this discussion about how the whole system works. So this was our yesterday's discussion. We'll just do a small revision of it, what we have discussed yesterday. Yeah. So we understood that this creation it is made of three modes, which is how we should. This is how we understand that it has sattva rajoguna, and tamoguna. And in sattva what we understand is there is clarity, harmony, and knowledge. And this is the most important thing. And then we have Rajoguna has activity, desire, and restlessness. Ignorance has it is Tamas has ignorance, inertia, and distraction. So this is actually what is happening in the present state. Now we want to come to this state of mind. So this is actually all states of mind only, right? Now, then we discuss that the three modes they are constantly the whole creation is made in such a way that there is always a this competition between the modes. The three modes are always competing. This started from the glance of Mahavishnu. So this is from the glance of Mahavishnu. This instability came. So there is always a unstable. So we can't balance anything in this world. So people always want to balance, but that is very difficult thing. Only balance is possible in goodness. But because there is always a competition, the three modes are constantly competing for dominance. So that is why there is always a problem. We want to settle with something, but it won't happen. So spiritual life is raising oneself to Sattva so that we can balance. Now, importance of Sattva we have discussed. It will the most important thing, it leads to dharma, clarity of knowledge, and spiritual growth. That is why the whole system. And see, because it's all connected to mind, that's why we are discussing. Because we in the previous section, if you remember, the previous sessions I have already explained that action is not for the body, it's for the subtle body. Dharma is for the subtle body, so that we have clarified previously. If you remember, any actions here we have very elaborately discussed, so subtle body impressions and all. So here we are, same thing. So soul is there, subtle body is there, and gross body is there. So this dharma, it is not for just the body, it is for the subtle body. So that means subtle body is mind only. So here, whatever we are discussing, it is connected to mind, and that's actually going to come in the next section. The state of mind. So this is where we are working. So the dharma, the duties are for the subtle body. Of course, gross body also applies because gross body is based on subtle body. Like uh, in most of the cases, some exceptions are there nowadays, but in general, it is like that. So duties are for this. So now, what we want to change? We want to change this. We want to concentrate. So we have to work in such a way that the subtle body changes. So whole task is to change the subtle body. Change subtle body. Now it is completely filled with the subtle body is made of three gunas. Now the whole task is to change these three modes more into passion and ignorance are there. We have to bring it to goodness. So that is what is the whole challenge. Now all the rules and regulations are given for this only, so that we can bring our subtle body to goodness. So the meaning of here, the spiritual growth must continue until maturity, not stopping at basic goodness. So we are not just interested in goodness; we are interested in further. And then pure goodness is Vishuddha Sattva, and it is beyond gunas. Pure knowledge manifests there. But most important thing, this is the most important thing, is we want to have a one realizes relationship with Krishna. So this is possible in pure goodness, right? So this is the most important. Now, what is the goal of this dharma? We have discussed here to bring to self-realization, loving relation with Krishna. So this is the ultimate goal of dharma. That's actually what we want to get. So self-realization is, it is like Brahman platform. This is Bhagavan. So most of the other processes, jnana and yoga and all, they bring to self-realization, but they don't bring Bhagavan relation. This is happening so bhakti. So this is happening to jnana and yoga, like that. Now we see the further, the Sattva strengthens dharma, and dharma strengthens sattva. So they are mutually connected in that way. And both lead to bhakti. And now Madhvacharya says that the spiritual work, like a upward spiral, is taking up. Each element reinforces other sattva and dharma. Only pure bhakti remains. So other two things will be dissolved. Now, the most important thing which we discussed is absolute reality. See, Bhagavatam is talking about absolute truth. If you see the first shloka of Bhagavatam is, Satyam Param Dhimahe. Satyam, the truth, and Param, that is absolute truth. So Bhagavatam is meditating is telling us to meditate on the absolute truth. No other literature is talking about absolute truth. They are all talking relative truth. You are understanding? Why Bhagavatam is so special? We have to understand this very, very, very clearly. Most important point. Bhagavatam is not talking. In this world, all truths are relative. Relative in the sense, if you say this is beautiful, beautiful means compared to something else, it is beautiful. If you say this woman is beautiful compared to some other, she is beautiful. Otherwise, there are more beautiful than her also. The apsaras in heavenly planets are much more beautiful. Like Radhana Mara says that the beautiful women of this world look like cockroaches in front of the apsaras of heavenly planet. So what is beautiful then? The apsaras, when they compare to the Lakshmis, they look like cockroaches. So it is all relative. But when it comes to Krishna, Krishna is absolute truth. That's why we can stand on it, can hold. We can hold on to Bhagavatam. That is what is because absolute and rooted in God. We can hold on to it. See, in life, we need to be very, very little bit fanatic about spiritual some things. Like I can't live without chanting. I can't live without Mangalarti. I can't live without hearing. I can't live without this service. So something we should hold very strongly in bhakti. It look like fanatic, but it is safe actually. I can't live without class. I can't live without this. That means what they are holding on to it very strongly. That will protect them. Otherwise, there is no protection other than this. This is the only protection we have. That will help us to get rid of the lower things. In this world, people are holding on to relative truth. They are taking shelter and support of relative truth. That's why they are doomed. So this will make them suffer. Dukhalayam Shashvatam. But absolute truth is not Dukhalayam because it is permanent. Whole life we can attend Mangalarti. Whole life we can chant. It will never go. We can continue in next life also. So it will never create fear. No fear. This creates fear. That is the point. So now now here then same thing with dharma also. If dharma based on Bhagavatam is absolute, but dharma based on any other thing is relative. So here, that's actually what was our discussion yesterday. Uh, we have to very clearly understand that ours is best, not it's not relative. That's why we can say it is best. And it is applicable to everyone. It is not subjective, it is very objective because it is uh, all the acharyas have explained. Bhagavatam is telling it is absolute. So there is a question of objective. After this, there is nothing beyond this. Now the question was asked like Prabhupada, can Krishna make a stone which he cannot lift? Prabhupada says yes. He can make a stone which he cannot lift and he lifts. So here when you talk absolute, no logic works. So that's why we can't understand how can something be absolute. Anyway, we'll not go more very technical in this. But here, modern idea is morality is relative. You see, and Bhagavatam morality is eternal and divine. Prabhupada says that human laws are imperfect, but God's laws are perfect and unchanging, like that. And dharma and expansion of consciousness is one most important thing. Why we want to learn all these things is this is the reason. When we follow dharma, what are the important things that happens? I said, na, following dharma means what we are doing, changing our mind. If you do anything right, our mind will change. Anything wrong, mind will also change. See, not able to concentrate. If you any of you have the problem with not able to concentrate, what is the reason? Distracted mind. Now, what is the cause of distracted mind? Impurities. What is the cause of impurities? Wrong actions. You're understanding? We want to concentrate on what? Concentrate on holy name. Now, when we are sitting, if you have not, if you have right action is what? Not doing dharma. So, if you do dharma properly, then we'll not have impurities. Then there is no distraction. Then we can concentrate on holy name. Thus, that's why dharma is so much connected to the holy name. If you do your actions properly, then what happens? It expands consciousness. I will give more details about it, what how it expands also, but at least we should know the reason. Like it expands our consciousness, and violating dharma contracts consciousness. So expanding consciousness is narrow consciousness is what? They focus on short-term gains. What will I get now? If I am doing this activity, immediate benefits we want. So this is fruito mentality. So this mentality is what works now. So everything, okay, this is the profit gain, profit gain. So, and not able to see the consequences. What will happen if I go for the temporary things? So if I watch a movie, I get pleasure. If I watch news, I get information. If I do this, I get. So immediate short-term gains we are seeing. But if I give up all these things, if I give up entertainment, if I give up sense pleasure, if I give up my desires to all material things, then long term I can get something that is not seen in because of narrow consciousness. Like children, no, you say, "Arey, you study, you get something more." Children can't understand it because their consciousness is not grown. They only see that I like playing. But instead of playing, you study. You are in future you are going to gain something else. So that they cannot immediately see because the narrow consciousness. But expanded consciousness is cause of all causes and ultimate cause is God. So no blaming. We don't blame anyone for our situations. We don't retaliate. We don't take revenge. And all these things is narrow consciousness, short term gains. Fight for fight for justice, do this, do that. No, that is not needed for devotees because his consciousness, like now we are seeing Jada Bharat, we saw Rishabh Dev, we'll see, in the future Avanti Brahman, and Haridas Thakur or any of these great acharyas. Nobody is retaliating or anything because their consciousness is very high, very expanded consciousness. They say, okay, if Lord wants like that, let it be, na. So they are not bothered about what is happening. So that is the point here. And the root of dharma, how do we know what is dharma? Dharma moolam hi Bhagavan. Root of dharma is scriptural statements. Dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranita. Yes, shastram is vichijya. So we have to follow the shastra. So the source and what is the shastra for us? Bhagavatam. Why only Bhagavatam? Why not other shastras? Because other shastras are also relative. Only Bhagavatam is talking in absolute. The source of dharma is Bhagavatam. Other literatures is relative. That's why only Bhagavatam is absolute. Other scriptures are also talking on absolute truth, but they also have some other dharmas also. Some relative theories are also there. Like about Krishna is there in Padma Purana or Vishnu Purana, but they also have some relative things. How to be good in this world. So that's why Vyas Mahasi has to write Bhagavatam where there is no other relative truths, only absolute truth is there, like that. So the root of dharma is Krishna, the source of Vedic knowledge. And now what is the result of following dharma? That is that the soul becomes happy and satisfied. And then now how the transformation of rajas into sattva happens. So we discussed rajas is restlessness, tension, desires, and two ways to release rajas. One is uncontrolled release and disciplined canceling, discipline channeling. So, if we are unrestricted, it is increasing into anger, lust, greed, and transformation into tamas, and it leads to destruction. So, transformation into sattva and constructive energy. So, this is actually what happens. So, the now role of discipline is niyama. So, niyama means acting according to regulative principles, not impulsively. And this is the yuktahar viharasya. We have this is the four things which Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita. And yoga practice is it disciplines lightness, it gives lightness, clarity, and sat, sattva. And we have discussed that discipline initially feels like poison and eventually turns into nectar. So that was our discussion. Then we saw that how Bharat Maharaj was not doing any of his duties. Why is he not doing duties? Till now we discussed duty will help our mind to become calm. But why Bharata is not doing his duty? His father is becoming very, he was becoming very desperate. And Bharata did not even feel sympathy to his father's attempts. He- Here Bharata became very indifferent. He is indifferent. Why he did not show any compassion to his father? So we will because he is not identifying. So actually, those who too attach to family, the death also. This is another very important point. His father dies, and then the younger brothers they treat him very badly, and further he. Uh, so Yeah, so that is what we are discussing. So I will come to that point why he is not doing his duty. So he need not do his duty because he is at a different level. Uh, Still we will discuss. I will explain that point once more. God. They used to work only for food. That also very. I'll just come to that point after reading few purports. I will explain what exactly is the thing why he is not doing because uh, at this time, being desirous of obtaining a son, a leader of dacoits who came from a Shudra family wanted to worship goddesses Bhadrakali by offering her in a sacrifice a dull man who is considered no better than an animal. Low class men such as Shudras worship demigods like goddesses Kali or Bhadrakali for fulfillment of material desires. To this end, they sometimes kill a human being before the deity. They generally choose a person who is not very intelligent, in other words, an animal in the shape of a man. But before this, I wanted to uh, just add few more things to our discussion. That yeah, so now the social structure which there this varnashrama why people have problem with this especially devotees we don't want to follow but we should know the science also then we will know what we should follow and what we should not follow. So we'll just discuss this few things that it is the structure why it is not needed for us and how much is to be followed. So that part I will just add to it today. So this is the org system of duties based on varna, that is nature, and ashrama is stage of life. So varna basically the nature. Based on our nature, I had to do my duties. So this is our discussion. I told you, duty will make our minds full. So now we will see that how the system works. So the purpose is to regulate individual social harmony. So this is the definition organism. Now we are not directly doing varnashrama, but many varnashrama we have to do, which will help us to make mind peaceful. That now somebody he is a grahastha. Now he has to do spiritual activities only, but some things which are connected as a husband, as a father, as a son, he has to do that activities like that only, which will help him to get his mind. That is the reason. So, and it will help him individual life also and social harmony also. So that is the thing. The core principle is it should all lead to bhakti ultimately. So lead to so that was the system logic. What we are doing, we are doing little shortcut with the help of bhakti. So after doing this, they understand that we are servant of Krishna. Now we already know we are servant of Krishna, and then we are continuing it. Sorry, sorry. I will just not. Sorry, sorry. So two very important points. Now this is so. So this is the first thing to understand. So Ishopanishad says everything belongs to God. And what is the attitude? It is not meant for enjoyment. Misuse is not misuse of this will lead to exploitation and mental actions. So now first principle to understand Hare Krishna. Sorry, there was some issue with network. Uh, so we'll continue our discussion. If, hopefully, it will not go. I'll just share the screen for you. Yeah, we are discussing that how the system works. Mm, not a very important system. Like we see that sometimes I was telling na yesterday when we were having day before yesterday discussion on which is easy to earn money or to do bhakti. So one Mataji said it is based on age. In young you can earn money and in old age you can easily meditate. But who can meditate in old age? Not everyone can meditate on Lord. Who has done his duty very nicely, they can meditate. It is easy for them. Why? Because their mind became very peaceful. That is the point. So here, the point I wanted to mention is that just a minute. Yeah. So now there are two things here. So we have to know how the things are connected and identify as for spiritual dharma. First thing is I have to identify I am servant of Krishna, and then voluntarily loving service and no forced slavery. So that is the constant internal affirmation I am servant of Krishna. So this should be the even otherwise also the person who is not devotee, he should also have this state that okay, I am uh, I have to do as a responsibility and duty. So now I'll just add this one point for you and then I'll come to the next important section. So this is the first. So everything belongs to God. And then I am servant. So this is the second thing. So this should be for devotees, how they do their dharma. And then what happens? Otherwise, we will misuse this material energy and we get entangled. So that will be a problem. Now, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that there are three levels of health: physical health, mental health, and social health. So physical health is we have our diet. So I will take these three levels of health. So physical health is diet, lifestyle, discipline, and then mental health is we have regulated senses and avoid intoxication and excess of anything. So that is for the mental health, right? Now there is something called social health. This is what is for harmonizing relationships. So these three things Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains at three levels of health: physical, mental, and social. And we have to work on these three levels properly. And that's why this see everything we are connecting to mind only. Please understand, we are not deviating from the topic. Ultimately, it is all for what? It is all to have a mind which is pure, which can meditate, can focus. So this is all connected to this only. So if you have good health, mental, physical health, that will help a pure mind. Regulated senses, this is also for pure mind only, for chanting. And a good relation will also help you to chant, focus. So ultimately, whoever is able to focus, whoever able to concentrate and meditate, he is successful in life. एतावान् सांख्ययोगाभ्याम स्वधर्म परिनिष्ठया जन्मलाभ परपुंसा ante narayana smriti. How is that smriti possible? When you have properly meditated, then only smriti possible. Otherwise, how it is possible? So now, what is this? We will try to understand this healthy societies. There now, why the society is not healthy? Because Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That principle is not followed. That's why there are so many wars now. So we want to know about principles of first is unity. That is, people don't have this first thing, that much maturity. That's why in Vedic times there was no like wars with which will destroy the general pe- populace, because people were living with mutual help. So and collective responsibilities. We should know others' sufferings, and there is collective responsibility in this world. And then there is also second thing is marriage and stability for people. This is all for what? For mind only. So we are not going anywhere other than this. And then there is culture of respect. All these things are connected. Respecting elders equals juniors. Hmm. Yeah. So then the last thing comes is, yeah, this helps us anything. It is making us free from envy, which is the most important thing for us to understand Bhagavatam. So, envy versus respect. So, here we see that the root of social destruction is envy, which is happening now, which is opposite to love. And then modern amplification is social media increases envy. This is actually what is happening for all the people now. We are increasing the envy for society, and the solution is respect. So this is what is the formula of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why all Radhanath Maharaj lectures concludes with this, begins with this and concludes with this, because it is ultimately curing what? It is ultimately curing our mind only. Your understanding. So Trinadapi Sunichena. That is the solution. And now another thing, another important thing is the discipline as the path of transformation. So this aspect we will cover tomorrow. We will take this. Uh, I will further explain why doing dharma will help us more. We'll just take purpose some points, and then we'll come back to it. Why he did not do his duty. uh, I will I will end the story tomorrow of that point. But we will see there is some other things in Jad Bharat, which is okay. I will just try to cover that point only first. Yeah, all these things are for healthy mind only. Only one thing. We all want to have a healthy mind. But presently it is not happening because we are not doing. So this is all connected to each other. See, I will just take this point for you. Now I told we have soul, we are soul actually, subtle body, and then gross body. Right? Now what happens is all the programmings are in the subtle body. Now when we do our duty, this subtle body is becoming pure. Now then what we should do? Concentrate on Krishna. So that is the purpose. For Bharat Maharaj, his subtle body already became pure. So he is able to directly concentrate. So he need not do his duty because he already did in past life. You're understanding? Or in this life also, after doing duty for a long time, duty for long time. If somebody duty for a long time, so at the end of his life, take sannyas. And then he can focus. So for Bharat Maharaj, because he is already pure from the past life, just one mistake it happened, and that's why he is given that body of a deer and a Brahmana. But otherwise, he is already pure in his mind from the past life only. As a king, he was already pure. He left his kingdom and he went to the forest. That means he's already pure. So for him, no need to do duty to again purify it. He's already pure. Only thing is, it looks like he's born in the family of a Brahmana, but it is not actually the not the reason for that. He's getting that body. Just Lord is giving him opportunity. Okay, now you did. uh, so he don't have any impressions, no desires. That means. So if you don't have desires, then where is the question of doing duties? You will not do duty if you don't have impressions. You can happily take sannyas. Same thing with Sukadeva Goswami. He's born, directly went to the forest. His father is telling, "Oh, wait, wait, wait." He's telling, "Where is the question of waiting? I am already done with all these things." So Bharat Maharaj is already done with all these things. We have impressions, that's why we have to do duty. Say now I have a desire to eat uh, pizza. Now this desire is there. This will not go just like that. You have to work on it to remove this desire. So what we do? Offer to Krishna, take prasadam. So then what happens? Slowly, slowly, the taste for pizza will go away and the desire to serve. So taking prasadam is what? Service. Eating pizza is uh, this is like desire to enjoy, right? So now we have desire to enjoy, but we are converting into what? We are converting it to desire to serve. But what we are doing here, we are adding Krishna here. So that becomes service. So in that way, what happens? This service will give us higher taste. So then this taste for pizza will reduce. You're understanding the system? So now I want to eat, I want to wear nice clothes. I wanted to have music. So music is enjoying propensity. And then what I do? I do kirtan. So then it becomes service. So slowly, slowly, all our propensities. Now all these impressions should convert into where it should convert into service. So till that time, our heart is not pure. So heart is having all these impressions. So when heart becomes pure, then we don't have any desire to enjoy. We always want to serve. So that's why morning when we wake up and why we chant the holy name, we want to do service to holy name, service to holy name, service to deities, service to Vaishnavas, service to Bhagavatam, which are the most powerful thing which will help us to get rid of our desire to enjoy. So all the impressions, it should be converted into service. So by doing these things, and holy dham also, by doing all these things, our desire to enjoy, which is giving us impressions and entanglement, will free. Now, what varnashrama or these duties will help us? They will help us to regulate our mind to focus on all these things. So, when you do duty, that will help you to clean mind, will help us to focus. So, while doing duty, what is the most important thing I said? To always remember I am servant of Krishna. So, we have to do duty with this state of consciousness. I am belonging to Krishna, I am servant of Krishna. If you do, then mind becomes clean and then we can focus on these things, we get higher taste. For Bharat Maharaj, he already have this clean mind. So for him, no need. Finish. So simple. Clear, no? Any questions on the topic? Because we will go to another topic now. Why to do our duties to clean our mind and focus on holy name? Any questions on this? Bhaktivinoda Thakur has mentioned three types of health, stability in three equal important progress in sadhana. We have to have all the three things. Priority uh, of them also helps us progress. We should prioritize everything because any one thing will damage your mind. If you don't have good relation, good health is there, and you are very regulated also, but relationship are not good, it won't work. We should have good relation also. We should be mature to have good relation, good friends, and same thing in other aspects also. So health should be good, relation should be good, and my action should be regulated. All the things are important. uh, Actually, in the previous chat somebody has sent questions but I lost them. If I don't see the questions because it got so. Then why he has given human body? He would have gone to spiritual world after dear body. He's at the level of yeah, he can go from the dear body also, but he wanted Lord is maybe want him to get purified further. See, there are different levels of purification. One purification, I told na, one is self-realization, another is relationships. Yeah, this is a good point. You could have gone in the body of a deer also. So one is liberation. You could have got liberated. In the deer body, he could have got liberation. But to get love of God, prema, for that we have to do more sadhana. So he did not end up in liberation. He another got another body, and then he performed further bhakt for prema. So I told na, one is self-realization and second is understanding our relation with Krishna. So in a deer body, he could not develop that relationship. So that's why he got another human body where he could develop that love and relation with Lord, and then he went to spiritual world as an associate of the Lord instead of just having a liberation. So that is the difference. We'll take another question here. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has mentioned three. Uh, No, we should have stability in all. All the three things are needed. We cannot neglect anything. Yes. Any other questions on this? Why we should do? Uh, why so much of duties are given is because of this reason only. To help us free. Uh, yes, we have some. Yes, Prabhuji. Sachipan.
Another Pranam Prabhuji, thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, very nicely explained. Prabhuji, I just one question on the topic that you mentioned about Sattva, Tamasa, and Rajoguna. So, Prabhuji, the material impressions, na, the material intelligence, basically, that we learn from this Puranjana story, how it nicely Narad Muni has taught to Prachin Brai. These material impressions are like, they gives positive, the experience of material impressions were positive, and they constantly give us about thought that yes, it's very nice. But at the same time, when we have spiritual experiences of positive impressions, then only you will be able to give up that material impressions, not only.
That is true, bro. We have to. That's why we should be in the association of devotees. Very intense yatras, retreats.
Mm,
Intense association is very much needed. That's why when we attend some yatra or some retreats, na, that time we become very intense, and that will help us at least for 1 week to charge,
mm,
and again, again we get discharged. So regularly we should. Every day hearing is also like at least for few hours we are charged after hearing
mm,
very powerful class,
mm,
and it should satisfy our intelligence also when we hear the classes to some extent, or it should
mm,
churn our heart with feelings, or intellectually some sort of taste, something should come from the class for us. uh,
mm,
that's why we have to choose our speaker, whoever is helping us in that direction, so that makes a
mm,
difference for us. Something should be there every day to meditate for the mind, and buddhi should be awakened.
mm,
So that will help us. Then slowly, our taste for, otherwise we'll be interested in what is happening in the world, in the news, this, that.
mm,
So our mind will go in that direction if you don't have some very tangible thing to meditate.
mm. So,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, we know that we are not getting the material impressions are not getting wiped out. At the same time, the spiritual positive impressions are for something. For some time it is there. Again, we get distracted. Again, we come back. Again, we get distracted. So this will go on till what stage, Prabhuji? Till Nishta stage?
Yes, bro. Till Nista, it will definitely. That's how it works.
What,
Till
what what what
Nista,
should be
we
our
will be.
what should
Till
be our day till daily? What we should do, Prabhuji, to to keep ourselves positively. Like, we are reading, hearing, but anything any more than we should do that to should not get distracted or keep our mind always in sattva guna. Any other things which you like to suggest? Haribol.
So thing is that we should have something very intense in our atmosphere. We are very much fun it some bhakti. Like I cannot live without Mangalarati. I cannot live without hearing Bhagavatam. I cannot live without my chanting Kirtan. Something should be very intense that will help us to get rid of the we are having. That
mm,
is how we have to work. There should be phonetically we have to attach to some aspects of work. Very intensely we
mm,
should do it. Otherwise, there is
mm.
no chance that we can come out of our lower things.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Project. Thank you so much.
And uh, Nutan Prabhu
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam. Prabhuji,
or
you
Krishna.
told about the need and necessity that we go for a yatra and all, no, Prabhuji. That time, what happens is sometimes I am in dilemma. Am I doing it correct or not? Because the intention which with I leave for an yatra is the very same thing that when we are in the devotee association and we are with this desire that we really are able to take up to whatever services we are doing with much more dedication, Prabhuji. May it be my chanting or any other thing, whichever I am doing for that very reason. But sometimes I feel, am I running away from my duties, which I was supposed to do at home? So this problem arises, Prabhuji. How should I look at it? What would be the solution, or what should be my mindset, Prabhuji?
We have to give to at some part of life we have to give priority to our responsibility, Mataji. Like say children's exam are there and you want to go for yatra, then it is not fair. You cannot go for
Hmm.
yatra in children. You have to be with them because you have to. That is your responsibility at one level, and you can hear the lectures online. But other
Yes, Prabhuji.
whenever possible, when you have opportunity, that time you can go. And at some point we have to know that okay, after this after children are grown, that time you can go more frequently. But then what happens now, you'll be able to concentrate very nicely once you have done your duties with the taking care of children nicely. Then you will be able to, when you go for yatra, maybe say you could not go for yatra for 4 or 5 years also, that will not be a problem. But once you go on the sixth year you go for yatra, that will be the best yatra, because you will be very mind is very pure, and you will be able to concentrate also very nicely, and you have already developed that eagerness, always you are longing for it to go for yatra, so that is also purifying only. So it is not like Radhanath Maharaj, one Mataji, she came, she was doing cooking services, and then she gave birth to a child. And when she came to temple, Maharaj said, what are you doing here? Maharaj, I came for service. Maharaj said, no, your deity, your service is your child. You take care of her first. So Maharaj sent her home. He did not want her to do the cooking in the temple. Why? Because that will help her to become more purer, with a state that, okay, Krishna gave me now this service of taking care of my children. So if you
Mm.
understand that, that is the service you are doing for Krishna only. Even doing the service at home is also service for Krishna. The attitude actually matters, not the
Mm.
action. I already told. So Arjuna is also fighting, Duryodhana is fighting. But what is the difference? The attitude. So you may be at home, like your neighbor is also taking care of children, you are also taking care of children. There should be difference, na? After hearing so much philosophy, you should have an understanding. Yes, this is the service which Krishna only gave me. I should do for Krishna's pleasure. But to do it for Krishna's pleasure, I should hear about him more frequently, so that my state of consciousness will be good. So every day you are hearing, whenever you get whole day, you will at least 10 hours you will have your own time at home. After your cooking this that, you have your own time. While cooking you can hear kirtan, while doing your services you can, while if you, even while working, people who are working also while traveling, they can hear lectures and kirtan. So uh, we have opportunities all the time to hear kirtans and lectures and keep our mind properly situated. So to keep our mind always conscious of Krishna, that is the task. Wherever you are, and do your activities with that state, and that will help. So like there are some people I know, they can concentrate so nicely. And why they are able to concentrate? Because they have done their duties also very nicely. They were very good in their action when they were doing their duties, and when it came to bhakti, they are doing with same dedication and same intensity. You are understanding?
Yeah.
You're able to understand?
Yes, probably. Actually, sometimes what we feel is we require the strength actually to means you're told about hearing, but hearing also I feel sometimes it is not sufficient. I may be wrong, incorrect in this point, but I'll try to improvise on hearing Prabhuji because our means the attitude with which we are chanting or reading or listening, that really matters, is what I understand from what you told. And I
That
see.
depends on your quality of hearing. With what
Yes,
quality you
Prabhuji.
are hearing will affect your chanting and services which you are doing.
Mm. We
Yeah.
pray for strength, no, Prabhuji. During certain responsibilities we are delivering, we pray for strength and our faith that He is only going to take care. Why am I doing this? I'll just take this association and improvise on that. He is the one who is going to look after all this, like that I felt, and
No, he will
that's
look after it, but we should make our efforts also.
hmm,
See, if you have faith like Bharat Maharaj level, then we can give up everything
on
and
that
go.
level. Hmm,
Otherwise, see what happens now. Okay, you are saying Lord is taking care. If you are not affected by the result, what is going to come? Like say your children have exams and you are going for yatra, and you say okay, Lord will take care. But after coming, when your children results are there, if you are not affected by the results of your children, then that's not a problem. But then you are upset. Oh, why they did not get good marks? Why they are not doing like this? If you are affected by the result, then you are not on that level. Then you have to do that ground level action also. So if you are
hmm,
not, it is not bothering the results, and you are completely detached from that also, then that's not a problem. you, you are not working on that, and you are not affected by it. Say you are affected by the results. So my children are not doing. Sometimes what happens na, the irresponsibility is also there. That will help, that will give make us justify, okay, I don't want to do this. So Krishna consciousness becomes a means to give up our responsibility. No, Krishna consciousness does not allow us to become
become
irresponsible. I
irresponsible.
see, we have to settle our accounts. I gave this example previously also. Please try to understand this example. Say some person, he has loans at 10 different places, and he has loan 1 lakh here, 1,000 here, 20,000 there, here, there. Now what he does, he goes to a bank and takes a very big loan of 10 lakhs and settle all the small loans. Now he has only one loan with the bank with 10,000, 10 lakh rupees. So what people think that coming to Krishna consciousness is also like that. I will settle all the loans by taking one loan from Krishna, and then Krishna, that loan is settled. But Krishna tells, no, 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 no. You settle all the loans and come to me. You are understanding? People think coming to Krishna consciousness is I have a license to give up my responsibilities. No, no, no. Krishna is telling it won't work like that. You cannot go to Krishna giving up all your responsibilities. It won't work. Arjuna also want to do same things. He said, I will go to forest and meditate. Krishna says, no, you stand and fight. So now standing and fighting for Krishna, standing and fighting is actually what is important for is what is important for sorry it looks like Arjuna is telling, okay, I am doing full time, I'll join ashram, and no, full time I'll do. Krishna says, no, I don't want you to full time, you stand and fight and kill people. That is your bhakti. You are understanding difference?
Hmm.
Arjuna is telling, I want to take sannyas and I'll go to forest, and Krishna is telling, no, you kill.
Hmm.
Now, kill Arjuna's taking sannyas or becoming a full-time devotee is wrong, and killing is right. So
Hmm.
you are seeing the difference.
Hmm.
So that is the most important thing. So that is the main difference in the. We cannot give up our actions, saying that okay, I have this. What do you say? Chutan. Just a minute. आने के बाद करता हूँ फिर नीचे. चेंज हो गया ना. 100 रुपए नहीं, 100 रुपए नीचे जाके ऑनलाइन करता हूँ. अरे नहीं है मेरे पास, देखो चुट्टा आपके सामने देखो. हम्म. तो चुट्टा नहीं. तो खाली करना, अभी करना 10 बजे. 10 बजे चले जाओ. अभी ऑनलाइन कर देना. ठीक है. और ऑब्जेक्ट को बताएंगे, लेकिन कल का कैसा बात की. आज का ही बाकी है ना, एक ही दिन का बाकी. हाँ, एक ही दिन का बाकी है ना, कल बस. आप तो जाना ही. उसी दिन. So the point here is that we cannot give up our things and then go to Krishna. We have to settle our things and go to Krishna. That means the mind should be clear from all these things. So that is the point. So here the problem with people is that they think that I can escape and go. It won't work like that. So that is the point. I'm sorry. Some you understood, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
ला मैं वापसी वापसी भिजवाता हूँ, रसीद और एक बार पैसा दे. ठीक. रसीद भिजवा दे. पैसा दे. Okay, any other questions, comments? Okay, we'll end here. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.